Hey everyone, just wanted to make a quick video, show you the setup I have on my 120 gallon tank. Just go over some of the fish I have in here first. It's 4 clownfish in here. I got them all at the same time. 2 of them stayed the same size, or very similar to the size I first bought them at. But there are 2 of them that just basically doubled in size. And the 2 of the big ones pretty much swim together all day long. I have 3 Sergeant Majors in here. I had 4 at one point, but just one eventually gave in and died. There's 5 Chromies in here. It's 4 usually swimming together and one hides by himself. I don't know if he's just the reject, but there was 6 at one point, and one died as well. Yellow wrasse, it's an active one. He actually jumped out of my tank a few weeks ago and, I don't know, made a nice 5-foot drop to the floor. I thought he was done for, but put him back in the tank and he started swimming right around. But you know what? For a few weeks he would actually come to the glass and make some faces at me. He'd shake his tail at me whenever he'd see me. It's like he really knew who I was, and I let him fall out of the tank. There's 4 firefish in here. Nice fish to go with the color of the light. That red really stands out, and that blue stripe right on top just makes it look nice. What else is in here? This yellow-tailed damsel, there was 2 of them. They were doing okay together, but you know, after a while, this one over here started bullying the other one and eventually just kind of died. So, pretty much had a casualty on a lot of these. That's why you get a few of them. Have this bullet goby here. He's a good one. He actually has, I'm sure, tons of parasites on him. If I could focus in on this, he's got a bunch of like blisters all over his fins. And he's had them for months now, but I guess it doesn't do much to him because he's extremely healthy. There's 4 red hairy leg hermit crabs. This is a small one here. He hasn't really been growing too well. Another one hiding down there. There's a real big one in here somewhere. You hear that snapping? It's a red pistol shrimp hiding in there. See him moving around a little bit. See if I can get a better view of him. There's tons of snails, hermit crabs. They're all over in here. Now, one of the main things I wanted to show you is the setup I have in the back. Oh, there's one of the hermit crabs. He's one of the bigger ones. There's the other one. These things are great. They're like $5 each, and they are the most active things in the tank. They will run all over the tank, eat everything you throw in here. There's that pistol shrimp. He likes to hide in his rock. He comes out every so often. I always hear him snapping all night long, all day long. It's just constant. That thing is loud. Let's see if I can turn a light on in here for you guys. And there is this coral banded shrimp. I love this guy. But yeah, these things are active. They run all over. Their claws are huge. And they look cool. I can't do any corals in this tank though because of them, unfortunately. But I like the way it looks. Now, what I have is a 30-gallon sump. Pretty much have the corner overflows on both ends, which come down and drop right into the top there. I just have a blue filter media, some bio balls. I know it's a little bit of an old style, but it works for me and I'm not going to change it. Threw some pieces of coral in here, PVC pipe. It's growing some tube worms on them. They're just growing in here. It's something cool to watch. I put a reducer down on that so things don't get sucked up. I've been just using this as a little tank to just throw some hermit crabs in, snails, and I just didn't want them getting sucked up because that's the pump up to the tank. It's a walkie wall pump. This thing's been going for over 10 years at least. 24/7, 10 years, still running. Now, that just pumps it right back up, and there's a bunch of different valves on here, and this is the cool thing about this, is that it makes cleaning so much easier. Now, what I have is I could close these return valves and I'll have no water going into the tank. So I could open this thing up and I'll basically have water traveling through here, up and through this hose. And it's just an open-ended hose. And I basically just hose this thing all on the bottom, and it's just a crazy amount of pressure, and I just get all the dirt up and all the settled food, just gets it all mixed in here. And since I have the returns closed, it's just cycling all in this sump and getting sucked up and going right back into it. So it's all self-contained, and cool thing about that is you could have that open, getting a bunch of pressure in here, and if you follow this pipe, it comes to this here, where this tees off, and it goes up into the return, or it's a pipe that I could open up here and go all the way across and down into my main drain of the house. So pretty much water changes are a breeze, because all I need is a bucket to fill up some water. To get all the water out of here, all I need to do is just fill up the sump. So I'll throw a pump in here and just pump all the water into the sump, because at some point, once this drops, this won't have any water in it to drain into the sump. And yeah, pretty much just sucks all that water up, and it drains right through this hose pipe and goes right into a drain. Couldn't ask for an easier setup on draining this water. That's just a little video on my tank. If you've got any questions or wanted to see anything else in particular, I'll be glad to show you. Thanks for watching. So I actually forgot to mention the lighting setup I have on here. It's a 48-inch Reef Breeders LED light that I got on reefbreeders.com. It's actually a gorgeous light. It's pretty lightweight. I have it hanging from the ceiling with some brackets, nothing too professional looking. Comes with a remote. It's actually dead right now, so I couldn't turn it on and show you, but it's got a bunch of settings on it. You could adjust each hour what type of light you want and the intensity of the light. So you pretty much have to set it for every single hour. So 24 different functions you'd have to set up just to get it going. But you know, once it's set up and that's it. You just let it go. This thing's been running for about a year now. Every day it's going great. Just taking a look at it now, there's no lights that are out, so I haven't had any problems with it. No problems with overheating. Fans aren't even on right now, actually. Not even sure if they ever turn on. It doesn't really get too hot back here. But pretty slim light. Covers the tank pretty much from edge to edge, so pretty much getting light everywhere in the tank. Figured this was about a good height. I'd say it's about a foot or so above the tank. A little salty up here, so I'm probably just gonna give that a wipe down too. But yeah, besides that, have this heater in here. Looks like it's about a 24-inch heater. How many watts is this? 250 watt heater. It's an Eheim. I actually had another type of heater. I forget what brand it was, but I had it in my sump, and the thing actually exploded, and I had a bunch of glass just filtering through the tank. It was a disaster. I actually stuck my hand in the sump with that heater still plugged in, powered on, just electrifying the water, and gave me a nice shock. So definitely bought the best that I could get. So far so good on this one. And I guess we just hit a new hour. If you were able to see that, just dimmed a little bit. I have it on a dimming schedule, pretty much starting at around 10 o'clock. It pretty much dims in intensity from about 50%, which I keep it at a majority of the time. I don't even go to 100% on this light because it's just way too bright. Literally 50% at its max. Well, when I have it at its max of the day. And then it pretty much just drops 10% every hour from 50 until it goes to a 0, which I then turn the actinic lights on, just pretty much blue and purple. Just gives it a nice blue look for about an hour until the next hour, and then they shut off completely. I actually have it on a long schedule right now. It's about a, I would say, close to a 16 to 18 hour day of light, and only a few hours pretty much between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, I think it is, where I have the lights off. So I actually don't have any algae problems, barely actually have any algae growing at the moment. I don't know why. I used to have a ton of algae growing on the sides of the glass, but as of lately there really hasn't been much. I don't know if that's because of water quality, but everything seems good. I just did about a 60-gallon water change yesterday, so if it was the water, maybe I'll start seeing some more algae growing, but I'm not complaining because it's less maintenance for me. That's pretty much it.